nuts? Who says this? Ain't going nuts to butts with you. Episode 2 of the Del Radio. That's the name of my show, Del Radio.
Okay, dig it, man.
And the theme is shooting the shit on the Sunset Strip.
All right.
You know what I mean? Because this is like old school rock right here, the Sunset Strip.
Awesome. Yeah, it's
Nick
great.
Oliveri right here is my guest. Thanks for coming down. I'm a huge fan.
Cool, man.
Which is amazing. I actually saw Kyuss back in the day.
Wow.
Did you do the tour when they opened for Faith No More? Were you on that?
No, I wasn't.
I saw that
I wish
one.
I was on that.
And then
I saw that tour too when they came through. I was living in that stuff. They came through. I went to it. Yeah, it was great.
I remember when I saw them.
They're a good band.
Kyuss was like, hands down, was like when it came out. I'm from San Francisco, and that was like the soundtrack of like all the dirty bars there.
Dig it.
Man, it was just like Thumb, and that whole record. That thing was just a soundtrack to me. It seemed like a San Francisco band. It really did, even though it wasn't from there. You know, it just felt like that because everybody played it. And then
cool,
I saw
man.
the Bottom of the Hill gig. Did you play that one?
I did play at the Bottom of the Hill. Actually, I was in the opening band. It was that the one with Fatso Jetson and
That's right.
Black Dahlia. I was in Black Dahlia band.
Wow.
I was in Black solo stuff, and we opened up, and yeah, it was great. It was great.
That
With the parachute and the oil wheels. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Cool. Yeah.
I mean, Kyuss to me was it was so epic, man, because it was these long. It was kind of like. I don't know, there were these long songs that were just so great and had so much like feeling in them and sound. I just loved it. It was
there's a lot of room to move around in there. A lot of breathing room in the songs, you know.
Yeah, because I'm a big fan of Metallica and Justice for All.
All right.
And that had a
I'm
long.
a Master Puppets fan.
Yeah, well, Masters is my favorite.
Yeah,
but
I
the
love it.
Justice record, the way it has those long songs and stuff. And Kyuss kind of had that vibe, and I always had these visions of just like like the movie Salt and Sea. It's just like desert rock. I mean, that's where it came from, right? You guys grew up in what, Palm Springs?
Yeah, well, I grew up out here, and I guess I grew up out there because my parents moved out there when I was 11. So yeah, Palm Desert. And,
Desert.
Yeah, kind of. I guess I wouldn't have played music if we didn't move out there because I met those guys and we started jamming.
You didn't play music when you moved out there?
No, I was 11 and I kind of like I had a guitar, from Mexico or something. I didn't know how to tune it and blisters trying to strum it. Probably drove them crazy with it,
Right. Right.
But, I didn't know what I was doing.
And then
so.
what? You met Josh and started playing?
Yeah, well, I met Brant playing baseball against him, and he. I guess back then, if you had an amp or a guitar, you could go jam and be in a band kind of thing,
Yeah.
And so he said, "Come by my house, we're gonna play." And so I went over there and I brought my little amp and my guitar, and we started jamming. That was '87 or so, and we were called Cats and Jammer. And we did our first party on Halloween of '87, and then I was.
And who was in that band?
That was Josh on guitar, lead guitar. I was rhythm guitar. Chris Cockrell played bass. Brant Bjork played drums, and John Garcia sang. We played twice at that party because John was in his car reading lyrics like scared, nervous. So the older kids made us play again. Wow! Because they liked what we were playing instrumentally.
And what did it sound like? Like Kyuss?
It was good. It was maybe more maybe it was faster, a little bit more punk rock vein than the slower sludgy kind of stonery thing. And so I think It changed a lot with the band changing its name as well,
right?
So
how did you guys develop that sound? Like, how did you become that? Because it's when you hear it, it's Kyuss.
Chris Goss,
man, Masters of Reality,
huge. He was huge in helping us find our sound. If you listen to Wretch, from Wretch to Blue Red Sun, it's like night and day.
Right, absolutely.
So it's a big step for he kind of got us signed, and stuff like that. Got us a deal and stuff.
Chris Goss got you.
Yeah, he really liked us. And
where did he see you guys?
He see us everywhere. We played the Club Lingerie, played the Gaslight. We play Club with No Name. Remember that place?
Oh yeah. All just Hollywood, just rock clubs.
Yeah, we come up and play, and we normally play with the Dickies or the Mentors. We had the same booking agents, so we'd have the gigs with those guys. And
right.
So we were constantly playing up here.
Was Goss in Masters of Reality at the time?
Yeah.
And because the thing about Masters of Reality is you know, they were on American.
Yeah.
You know, Rick Rubin. I don't know if Rick signed him or who signed him over there.
Yeah.
But when I heard Masters of Reality, I was just like, this band is amazing.
Ripping, yeah.
And you just couldn't believe it because it was like a big dude. Like, I mean, a band like that just would not get signed now at all.
Yeah, I know. They were great, man. They were the, you know, he still does it. It's still great. And I just went and played a show with them out in the desert, and it was at this place called The Hood. It was great. You know, Chris played, and Sean Wheeler and Xander Sloss. It was a lot of fun, you know.
I mean, I love the first record, but I also love their second record when Ginger Baker was in.
Yeah,
I don't care about Ginger Baker being in the band, but
that was cool,
I loved
though, yeah.
like, you know, When the Moon Fell Right Out,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, great.
And it was really cool, and those two records were so different.
Yeah, man.
And then the first time I met you, I'm sure you don't remember, but a friend of mine, Casey, had brought me down to I think Conway.
All right.
You guys were doing, I think it was the Songs for the Deaf or whatever, and Chris Goss was producing that, or he was doing the sessions.
He was there,
or
doing,
he's playing on it or something.
Yeah, he was down there for support and to sing on something, and
Right.
I think it was.
I was there the day he was there.
But he produced Rated R, and
Yeah.
and that was my hands down my favorite one to play with those guys. But to record with, it was
Right.
the funnest one to do. You know,
Right.
We had a blast doing it. We did have a blast doing Def too, but it was more
business.
Yeah, it was more. We got to make this record, and we got to kill it. You know.
Yeah.
And so we were pretty you know, focused on that. You know.
I mean, the interesting thing about that is you go from Kyuss, you leave Kyuss, right? Then Kyuss breaks up. And then how does Queens of the Stone Age get together? Because the chemistry between you and Josh is amazing.
Well, Josh had the band up in Seattle, and he was playing with Alfredo, who's the last drummer in Kyuss.
Right.
And it was basically just those two guys. They did the first record, the first Queens record, which is personally my favorite one. It's the guitar heavy
Right.
drum.
That's my least favorite.
Joe Barresi recorded it.
Right,
I mean,
right.
it's really. I think it's something that's really, really good. I think Josh has become a better singer now, but I think as far as the guitar playing and stuff like that, the songs,
Right.
There was something about it that was like, this is a good departure from Kyuss, but it's not leaving it too far behind, like sound wise.
That's right.
And that was pretty cool about it.
I think the thing with me was I was just comparing it too much to Kyuss, because Kyuss was up on this pedestal for me.
Yeah, sure.
And then when that came out, I was like, really?
Sure.
You know, but over the time, I mean, they recently just re-released it.
With the different singing too, like, you know, it took a while for me to get used to Josh singing and singing along with him too, you know,
Right.
because we were both. I'm still learning how to sing, but you know, learning how to sing together was
Right.
It was a challenge every night, you know, because we singing harmonies together and stuff.
Yeah,
It was-
and they're great.
Sometimes we missed.
yeah. I mean, what people don't know is, like, if you step on that stage when you guys are playing, I've sat on the side of the stage while you guys are playing, and it is loud as
loud,
shit.
yeah.
So you're not going.
You can't
into
hear
your
anybody's
monitors.
vocals anyway.
Yeah, you're not going into your monitors. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's hard to sing in tune with weird
Yeah.
wave and the wind blowing and the
Sure,
crowd.
man.
You
Sure,
know what I
man.
mean?
Sure,
And you
man.
can't hear.
Sure, man.
So then you join back up on the Rated R record.
Yeah, no, Josh was doing a South by Southwest, and I was living in Austin, Texas, and he saw I played a South by So What show. We couldn't get on we were a local band, we couldn't get on the gig somehow. It was a bit long story, but he comes to see me play, and I was nude and, you know, young and acting a fool, you know, and there's some record executive people there, and I kind of blew some fire at them, and I figured they weren't going to sign us anyway, so
Yeah.
I had some fun, and they didn't care, they laughed, but yeah, Josh was like, dude, you want to come back and play? And I was like, yeah, sure, you know, let me hear it, send me a cassette, you know.
Right.
So
A cassette.
Yeah, he taped me a cassette and sent it to me, and he
And what was on that?
He sequenced it in a way where it's like, it would be like, starts out with the bass of song Mexicola. So, you know, there was stuff that he knew would appeal to a bass player, you know. And so I was like, yeah, this is great, you know, and I'll be there. So
And he wrote all the tunes?
Josh wrote all the songs on there. Him and I think Alfredo had some part in that, but I think Josh pretty much, he wrote the songs, and that first record is all pretty much Josh and Alfredo, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then you join up, and I mean,
I got on there in a phone message on the very last song. I call up, and it's me going, yeah, I listened to the tape. I'm in. I'm coming out. So I'm on the record, but just a phone message, you know.
Right.
I wish I was on that record, but you know, I did
The
all the
Rated
touring
R
for
record?
it. No,
the first one.
The first one. I'm on Rated R, and
Yeah, of course. I mean, you sing.
we
the
did a
song.
lot of we wrote that in like some of the songs were written and some of the songs are from Desert Sessions, and one of the songs is from a Mondo record, the first record, because we like to cover our solo stuff too.
That's right.
In Queens, you know, and we figured if we could reach more people, it was a good thing to do. But but we basically wrote the last few songs out in 29 Palms. We went out there and rented a place and just had guitars and amps, you know, and pretty much just wrote until the thing was done, you know.
Right.
It was like, you know, day 3 we were writing some good stuff, you know, like Bear Lives New Chemistry, which I think is a good song, and we I think the co-write stuff is the best stuff to me. I think because if I have a part and Josh adds to it, I think it becomes better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, I think a tomato stew is not a good marinara. You know what I mean? You got to add something in there. So like a good chemistry between people and songwriting, I think is important.
Yeah, man. I mean,
you can do it all yourself, but it's not going to be as good, I don't think.
When
you
you get that chemistry,
Yeah.
it's hard to deny, because finding guys.
When you see Osborne, Iommi, Butler, and Ward on all the songwriters, that song rules, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like, that's how it is. You know what I mean?
Man.
It's like you get a chemistry, and it's like lightning in the bottle, and it's always going to be not as good without the two, you know, the two dudes.
I think it's important to have chemistry for sure, yeah, you know?
I mean, you and Josh have this insane chemistry that must be hard for you two to deny when you're playing in your separate projects. I mean, you're not playing with him now. And I know how it is, because I played with some guys, and whenever they're not there, it's not the same.
Sure.
It's good, but you're always in the back of your mind, you know?
Yeah, it could be better, you know?
That's right.
And I'm not hearing what that part is, because it's not, it's the other person's input that makes it something
That's right.
something that you want to hear in your head. So you can kind of, you know, I think he'd do this, and you know, like add something cool to it like that, but it's never, you know, it's never quite as cool sounding, you know. I just Josh came down to the studio and recorded some stuff on New Mondo, which was great, you know.
No, I saw
It was
you guys
awesome.
recently.
We hadn't done anything for 8 years, so it was cool, you know.
Yeah, I saw you guys recently at Jones.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
all
that's
you
right,
guys
that's
were
right.
there.
That's right.
And
yeah.
I'm thinking, oh, here's a secret meeting for the Queens reunion, you know? Like, what was that about?
Oh, we were just hanging, you know. Troy was hanging out, and we went and had some dinner and stuff, and just were hanging out, you know. And Josh is a good friend, so we had our thing, you know, where we were, you know, mad at each other, or I was mad at him or something, you know. But it takes a long time to heal some things, you know, that are like, oh, okay, I guess it was me, you know, that kind of thing, you know. It takes some time to, like, sometimes admitting things that, you know, that you're wrong about takes some time, you know. So it took me some time, and you know, it's one of those things where, you know, you can't force somebody to play with you.
That's right.
You know, but that doesn't mean you're not friends anymore, you know.
Right.
So it's but there was a good step to at least jamming, doing something together where, you know, he was listening to a track and played a solo on it and sang a background and stuff, something that he was hearing and wanted to do, and that was cool, you know. I think it made the song better, and because it wasn't a part I had, like, dude, can you come do this part? You know, it was like he was just hanging out, and it kind of came about. So it was cool, you know. It was really good, and yeah. But I definitely sent him a text, you know, after he left. I was going like, yeah, if you ever need their favor returned, that would be more an honor to.
yeah.
Just ask me, dude. I'll be there. You know.
I mean, everybody.
So, you know.
Everybody wants that, you know, all the time. I mean, Queens is great. I think it's kind of.
I think he's doing good with it, because I think why he had me and had Mark Lanigan there in the first place was he didn't want to sing.
Oh, the whole time, right?
He didn't want to sing. He didn't feel comfortable with his own voice, and so he brought in other people to sing, so he wouldn't have to do it all the time.
Right.
And then he got more comfortable as a singer, and at the end of the day, you know, he doesn't really need to bring anybody else in, you know, to sing any songs for sure. But you know,
he's a pretty unique singer.
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
different. He's different for sure.
But the great thing about the band, especially when Lanigan was there, you've got, you know, Hanging Tree. You know, which is this, like, Lanigan's like, oh, no, 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 no. And then you've got you, who's got kind of that cool punk rock. You can get really radical, you know. And then you've got Josh, who's kind of like a talker, you know.
Yeah.
And the three of them together makes these records so interesting, you know, which makes it totally different, because I think on the last Queen's record, it had a lot of songs on it. I think it was like 15 or something. Yeah. And I just kind of lost interest some way through, because I'm missing the different textures of the characters of the band.
I kind of feel like, you know, if there's 80 minutes on a CD, you don't have to fill it all
That's
up.
right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, all the records of the old day are 25.
Yeah, of any band, you know, you don't have to fill up the whole thing. And I don't know if their record was 80 minutes long. I'm just saying, like, if you fill up the whole thing, it's just who has 80 minutes to sit and listen to I've listened to double records like that, but I don't even think they come in at 80 minutes, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, Rain and Blood's like 22 minutes or something.
And it's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. It truly is. It truly is a great record, and you're left wanting more, you know?
That's right.
I can listen to it again.
And also it feels epic when you go through it. You feel like you've been on this journey.
Sure does.
You know? So what's been going on lately?
Angel Death to Raining Blood and all in between. You know,
yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff.
Now you're working on. Wait, hold on now. You were back in Kyuss for a little bit and you left.
Kyuss lives. Yeah.
There was a weird battle with the name and everything with Josh.
Well, they're still in it. You know, they're still in this battle. The guys I was playing with, John and Brant, and Bruno's the new guitar player. Bruno Fieri. He's a good dude. Plays great. You know.
Yeah.
We were touring around, and the whole idea was to celebrate these songs. John was already doing it. Garcia plays Kyuss, and we played the same show and saw it. I was like, wow, God, I haven't played a song. It felt really good. It was great, you know. So we decided to do a tour, and John asked me to do it, and I said, yeah, certainly, most certainly, you know.
And where did you guys go? You went through Europe, right?
Yeah, we did Europe, and it was just a big. It was bigger than anything I think Kyuss ever had done, you know, as far as like. Over the years, there's just I guess a
cult following.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nobody got to see him.
It's on a word of mouth or something like that, or because, I mean, it seemed like there was a lot of new people there, you know, like younger people at the shows, and I was like, wow, they weren't even around when we were doing this, you know.
I think Kyuss is a lot like Woodstock. Crazy. Everybody says they saw him.
There's a lot of people that go,
but they didn't.
A lot of people say. A lot of people.
I'd be like, really? Where did you see him? They go, well, I saw him up in. I go, nah, you didn't. A
lot of people did. A lot of people have seen. When I was in Australia, a lot of people were like, dude, I saw Metallica I saw Kyuss with Metallica. I'm like, no, you saw Metallica, dude. Yeah. If you were there, you went to Metallica. You didn't see Kyuss.
That's right.
And, you know, it's one of those things where everybody says they've seen it. But I was like, how old are you? No, you didn't see it. You didn't see it. There's no way.
I remember the show I saw. It was at UC Davis, which is by Sacramento.
All right.
They were opening for Faith No More, who was on the Angel Dust record, which is probably one of the coolest records ever made. I love that record.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
And I remember about 4 songs in, John dove into the drum kit, and one of the cymbal stands impaled his hand. The show was over.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, like he dove into it. And
I've seen him do this thing where he'll break his hand, like when he used to when we were younger, he'd hit the monitors.
Yeah.
He'd do something, damn, and he'd get so sprain his hand or break his hand, and he'd get so mad that he did that he'd do it again, like you know, like just being a kid.
It's just like a band of
just being a kid, yeah,
right
just being
there.
a kid, you know. And
one thing I remembered about it, Kyuss, and I'll never forget it. The first time I saw Bottom of the Hill was I saw Josh, and I was like, he looked like a college nerd.
Yeah, Josh came from like he played football.
Yeah,
you know?
He was huge.
We used to go watch him play, you know, like we would go watch him, you know, we would go watch him play, you know. And it was a lot of fun, but yeah, he came from the sports side of things, you know. Like I played baseball until my dad didn't make me play anymore, you know.
Right.
He actually played because he was really good at football and stuff. So, you know, it was kind of a trippy, you know. He'd play football and then he'd go play a party that night with his band.
So weird, because you know, usually jocks don't.
That's
make
right,
a good rock guy.
That's it.
And he was huge too. He's like a giant.
I think Josh got better after he quit playing sports.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's much better now. He rocks now.
But I remember it was like these 3 guys right? The one guy was on bass that auditioned for Metallica.
Scott Reeder.
Scott Reeder was on bass,
Sure.
and he was like this kind of stoner dude playing the Rickenbacker.
Upside down Rickenbacker,
That's
left-handed,
right. And then
strung up right-handed still because he didn't know to flip the strings too, so it's upside down. You know, that's what's great about it.
And he had the killer sound, you know, just
sick. I saw that dude play ninth grade. When I was in ninth grade, I saw him play with Mario Lally, who became Fats Jetson.
Right.
Great dude, man. Great player. But yeah, Scott played with him, and Alfredo Hernandez ended up playing in Kyuss as well. Was the drummer of this band called Across the River. They played in my lunchtime at Indio High School when I was in ninth grade. I remember going out to the smoking section because we had a smoking section, and I was going to ditch school with this girl I was trying to hook up with, and for the rest of the day, you know, and this band was like plugged into the portables, and I was like, dude, I'm staying, you know. So we stayed, and then we left after the band played, but it was I didn't know what I was hearing, but I didn't leave. It was good. It was good.
Right.
And he was still, I remember watching the bass player because I was bass player, barefoot. Still like he does now with the Rickenbacker, but he doesn't play the Ricky anymore. I wish he rocked the Ricky.
That's kind of crazy, doesn't it?
He should rock the Rick, dude.
Man.
He should rock that thing. Because that's kind of his signature, I think, thing.
That's right.
It's like Lemmy has one, and then he has the one left-handed. You know what I mean? That's the thing, you know?
Well, if you watch that Metallica movie, Some Kind of Monster, they show real quick when they're auditioning bass players, you see a clip of him playing. And to me, I thought he was the closest to Cliff Burton of all time, and I was kind of wondering maybe they didn't pick him because he's so Cliff Burton like flavor. I thought like if they got him, it would be the best ever.
Yeah, it would have been great. Yeah,
I mean,
but I like Trujillo, man. I think Trujillo's awesome too. Though,
I like him, Robert. But I don't.
But I think Scott would have been pretty badass.
Yeah, because he's just that stoner, and they were really After Cliff Burton was gone, they really never. I mean, Cliff Burton was the dude.
Cliff was pretty badass. Yeah, he was pretty great.
Who do you like on bass?
Well, I think Cliff Burton and Steve Harris and Mike Watt and Chuck Dukowski, I think, and Geezer Butler.
Yeah.
Those would be the guys I'd say. I know I'm forgetting some, but you know,
Chuck,
I'm forgetting a lot.
Dead Kennedys. Black Flag.
Chuck Dukowski. Yeah, he's pretty. He attacks that thing for sure, and I think Flea's a great bass player for sure. Yeah,
Flea.
Yeah, but he's not the reason why. Not the reason why I play, but he's. I've seen him play and go like, what? You know,
right?
How's he doing that? You know,
yeah, absolutely. He definitely.
He's doing stuff. You know what I mean? He's doing stuff. You know, it's just like what? You know. Sounds like he's using a pick, but he's doing all four fingers. He's just like,
he's kind of like a John Bonham, but on bass.
Sure, absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You're looking at stuff going like, what's going on?
Absolutely, and he's a cool guy on top of it.
Yeah,
which is
he does a lot for the community.
Pretty nice
that
guy.
Music school.
Yeah, we did some shows with the Peppers in Queens, and they were super cool to us, and I didn't know what to expect going into it, so I was like, I was really pleasantly. Really surprised and really happy, and of course we thought like these old guys, we're gonna go and stomp them, we're gonna kill them, dude. Cocky feeling, and then when we went out and watched them play, and they played like 18 songs I didn't know I knew, and everybody else was singing all the words. I was like, wow,
hits.
they got
the hits.
They got them, man. They rolled them all out too, and we were just like, well, I guess we're not gonna kill them. That was awesome. So it was interesting, and turned out they were really good guys to us too. And it was cool. Yeah.
What kind of music were you listening to growing up? Were you into classic rock?
I was total metal kid, you know.
Me too.
Like to me, the true stoner rock was because I was a stoner kid,
right?
You know, long hair, and I had my jean jacket and the patches and stuff, and
That's
and I was into it, and it was like Sabbath and Priest and the Scorps, dude. You
know,
the early Scorpions,
like Scorps before Blackout.
Scorps
like
before
Love Drive
with the Ulrich Ron, Uli Roth. Yeah, Uli Roth. He's great.
Uli Roth is amazing.
Virgin Killer record, and
I like that early Shanker MSG.
Taken by
stuff.
Force is great. You know, there's some great stuff in there.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Very good. Very good.
It's weird because you think about music from back in the day, and they was all good. It seemed like, right?
Like "Sad Wings of Destiny" by Judas Priest. Now that they don't sound anything like that in the later records, but that's a rock and roll band. If you listen to that, that's rock and roll, man. That sounds. I love that early stuff, man.
Yeah, when you see early Priest and they're kind of glammy,
that's stoner rock to me.
Yeah,
that's stoner rock to me. Like the earlier stuff of bands like that. It's like 'Cause that's what stoners listen to.
That's right. I was into Saxon, Denim and Leather.
Sure, man.
I grew up in
absolutely.
San Francisco. A lot of Metallica.
Biff Byford, right?
Biff Byford.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Can you feel the
Yeah.
power?
Yeah,
you know,
that's the
Power
dude.
and Glory.
That's the dude.
Good stuff, man.
Saxon, man.
Merciful Fate. Did
Merciful
you get into
Fate.
them?
Yeah, King, dude. King's
Diamond?
great, dude.
Yeah.
Melissa.
I like the next one. Don't break
the oath. Yeah,
Oh,
man. Hell
how
yeah.
great is that?
Yeah, I grew up listening to all that stuff, man.
It's nothing like that, man.
Yeah,
Like,
there's like the stuff that Metal Blade and Megaforce are putting out. I loved all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
The majority of it I did.
they
man.
had their finger on the pulse, huh?
They were great, man.
They
Great
just
stuff.
got
great
all the
stuff.
good bands.
Great stuff. They had everybody, man.
What about now you've got Mondo Generator, right? You've
Yeah.
been doing that for years.
Yeah, it's been an ongoing side project thing that I do, and
Different guys every time.
yeah. Well, right now I have a drummer that's we're like kind of the core of the band. This my friend David Haas Wright, and he rocks. You know, we write songs together, and he's just you got to have a good drummer, man. You know,
You do.
if you don't have a good drummer,
That's
suck,
the
you know?
the key to all great bands. What people don't know, like John Bonham.
Gotta have a drummer.
There's great dudes out. I had Brian Tishy on the show. He's one of the best drummers I've ever played with.
gotta have a good drummer, man. You're just
And there's so many different flavors to good drummers. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people just think it's like, oh, this guy's got great time, but you got to have feeling.
Sure.
You've got to be creative.
That's right.
You also
There
got
has to be some telepathic, kind of like when you're jamming with somebody and you want to go to the next part. You don't have to stop and talk about it. Like somehow you talk to them and they just know, and like they can feel that you're gonna do something, and they kind of do a transition and move with you. You know,
Yeah,
like whoa,
those are
cool.
great
You know,
guys.
that's the guy I like to play with. You know, that's the drummer you need.
It's like Max Weinberg, you know, from Springsteen. A lot of people think he's terrible.
Yeah.
But if you listen to those songs, they're just these linear tunes.
Sure.
You know, they're just the verse, chorus. But the way that Max brings it up and down and takes you on this journey,
Sure.
you're like, wow, it seems like the tune's all over the place.
Dynamics, yeah.
Yeah,
Dynamics
it's
is
all
good.
good. You got to have great dynamics. You
Gotta.
got to know how to bring it way down
Yeah, man. Sure.
and have telepathic, like I say, you know.
Yeah, you got to be able to communicate and without having to stop and go. Why are we going to the bridge here? Like sometimes I've had not all drummers, not all guitar players or bass players or whatever, but so I've had trouble with sometimes drummers that don't play a guitar or a stringed instrument. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's tough
They don't understand it.
Sometimes they don't understand why you're going to the bridge right here, you know. But a lot of them know, like a lot of them aren't counting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I don't do math so much when I'm playing. I like to feel it, you know.
That's
and like
right.
it's one of those things where if it feels right to go to the next part, we should be changing and going to the next part, you know. And to play with somebody that feels the same way is important, you know.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. And yeah, Haas is great, man. He's a great drummer and hits hard. You know, that's what I like. I
Yeah.
like that, man.
Like the guy that's in Queens now. What's his name?
Joey C, man. Joey Castillo.
Now, he was in Danzig before, right?
Yeah, yes, he was. Yeah.
Now, that guy, the thing about him is...
Looks like he's gonna break the snare head every time he hits it, man. Just like.
And now it's all good. But after Dave Grohl wasn't in Queens, he came in and I was like, this guy's a monster.
Yeah.
But other people were like, oh, Grohl. Yeah, Grohl's great. But this guy, the way he played it was like Bam Bam from Flintstones.
He just
Like,
killed it, yeah. And the funny thing about it is we jammed with him one song the day before we left on tour. We had been practicing with two different guys. Like, we finally chose one of them. Like, okay, this is the guy. We're going to go on tour.
Wow.
Tomorrow we leave on tour. And Josh calls me up and goes, yeah, we got to go down to the practice room. I'm like, why? I was like so stoked we finally found the guy. We were done, you know. We were done rehearsing twice a day with, you know, getting ready with different drummers.
Who was the other
guy? Jeez, what's his name? I forgot now. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know.
It's all good.
There was a couple different guys we were playing with. The guy from The Flies and the guy from Troy's band, which was a great drummer, you know, great guy. And
but this guy Joey gets it.
But Josh, you know, we jammed with Joey and we played a couple shows at Goat Snake in Europe, or in England, I think, and he was in Goat Snake for a while. And with I think Scott Reeder was in the band maybe at the time or is now, and Pete Stahl, but. So we're watching him play, going like, "Wow, man, this guy's badass." And so when Josh says, you know, "Hey, we're gonna try out Joey today," I was like, "What? Really?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah." So all right. So we went up there and we played one song with him, And
What was it?
It was Avon off the first record, and we looked at each other like this is the guy.
Yeah.
And we were like, you want to go on tour tomorrow? You got to start learning the songs. And so he was just like listening to headphones, playing along, air drumming, like the whole trip up to SF. We're gonna do our first gig of the tour, and just learning as we went. Like he was learning, teaching himself.
Fillmore?
This was an in-store at
at Virgin.
Virgin, yeah.
I was there.
Earlier the day.
Yeah, I was
earlier
there.
The day.
I remember that? It was like during the day, and then Lanigan
right.
would walk into
That's
that
right, that's
side
right.
door, and he would sing, and then he'd walk out the
Later,
side door.
yeah.
I was at that show, and it was monstrous, man.
Yeah, that was Joey's first gig, and he had we only played one song together, so it was up to that point. So he was, it was pretty amazing to think about. He was just teaching himself by listening to it up until the time, to play every night and until he knew all the jams, and then he took him to a different place sometimes too, which was great,
Yeah.
Because to do what started, because I think Josh was pretty. Whoever, there was a new guy come in, it was like, well, this is what the recording is, so whatever instrument they're playing, it should be played. This is the part that's on the record,
right?
So it shouldn't be different, or it shouldn't be changed until you can play that part at least,
Right.
You have to have respect for the part before you can change it, and so for Joey to do that and to just play those parts and manhandle them was great,
Yeah, he was
just
pounder.
Really great.
And he's got like these. Not big shoes to fill, but more of like in people's minds of like Dave Grohl, you know.
Yeah, sure, man.
Because they're both great drummers. There's great drummers out there, and they're all different. And anybody would love to have Joey in their band.
And we had some great fans, that were pretty that were very strict into like they liked who they liked in the band. And if there was somebody that wasn't there and somebody else was playing, you'd hear that name called out in between songs, dude. Like the new guy'd be like, "What?"
Yeah,
like, that's kind of a bummer. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
Like the Queens
up there
of the
playing
Stone
somebody
Age.
else out the other guy's name.
Hey,
Grohl! You're like, oh man, head down for the rest of the show, kind of thing. So we have some pretty diehard fans of who they wanted to be in the band. So.
Right.
So Joey came in. He never got that once. I didn't hear him. He's a pretty big guy too.
He'll punch someone.
Yeah, he looks
like
pretty
Josh
big,
is a big dude too.
Yeah,
Josh beat up some guy.
Josh is a big guy, man. Josh is a big guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like 6 something. I don't know. He's up there.
And he'll fight.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's a big guy.
Yeah, interesting combo of you guys. You know what I like about you, and this is what I like about you, is you are an outlaw, man. Like real deal. Like
in trouble right now. No.
Yeah, like you're in trouble. You get in trouble, but here's the thing, man. You get in trouble.
I'm tired of that way of life.
Right, I understand it. But what I'm saying is, bands these days, they don't have any outlaws. You've got like the old days, dudes were outlaws, man, and that's why they played rock, because they couldn't fucking work at Starbucks. Bands now, I could see them at Starbucks, working.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's like Rollins said, a good front man is somebody that you can't picture doing anything ever, except that, like Jim Morrison or something.
Yeah, sure, man. Sure.
And it's a caged animal that brings the fire to the stuff that you do. I mean, you play fucking naked. You know what I mean? Who plays naked?
Not so much anmiore, because
I know, but
as I get older, it's more than just it's not as scary as it used to be. But it's also it's scarier. But
you played stone cold naked. No one does that.
It was fun. It was fun. Yeah, it was a good time.
Now, how are you doing now? You're in some trouble, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah, why not?
So you had like a domestic...
It's almost over.
Yeah, domestic dispute with your lady?
Well, we had an argument, and a friend came over, and not my friend, but a friend of hers came over and knocked on the door, and I didn't answer the door. I was like, well, I'm going to answer the door.
Yeah.
I have to answer the door. And she called the cops from outside. She called them. And I thought it was a joke. I was like, yeah, right,
Yeah.
So the cops come to my house, and I thought it was just her messing around out there. Like, yeah, the cops are out here. I was like, yeah, right, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So once they knew that I was inside and they were outside, I was like, I don't want to go out. I'm not going to answer the door.
That's right.
I won't answer. I don't have to answer the door.
You're in your house.
Yeah, I mean,
you didn't do
I'm not doing anything wrong. I didn't call the police. What do I need the door open for? And they opened the door for me with a robot.
Oh, with a rope. What did they use? Like
3.5 hours later, in a SWAT team and stuff, which was the serious business with the SWAT team, you know. Which I apologize if they missed some real trouble that in that time frame.
That's right.
Because that's the main thing that's important here, is that if there's something that they should have been at that was real, as opposed to like some guy just didn't want to open the door, you know.
Yeah.
Being a jackass. So. But I didn't think I had to open the door. I was like,
right.
You know, they wanted the girl to come outside to see she was okay, you know. And I was like, she's all right. She went outside and everything was fine. But I didn't come out. I closed the door behind her, like, okay, go. Tink.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's not what they wanted, you know. And, they didn't want that.
So they opened the door. What they use? Like one of those pounders?
I closed the door and went to sleep.
Yeah.
I actually was like, oh, that's over. And I went to bed. And then, like, you know, I guess a few hours later, because I was in there, you know, they were like a public address and everything going on, you know. But I live across the street from a park that has sports going on. And I learned to tune that out pretty good. And I have a window unit air conditioning, so I didn't really hear them, you know. And I went to sleep and was sleeping like a baby, you know. And all of a sudden, boom, I hear this big crash, you know. Wow. Woke right up. You know, what? And I had a window on my door, you know, a big glass window, and I pulled back this curtain. I was like, and these high beam lights are in my face. I was just like, it was like RoboCop, for real, man, real deal. And I was
they had like a robot?
There was like on wheels and like and smashed in the window.
Wow.
You know? Yeah, I was like, whoa. So that was kind of scary. I didn't think I was going to see that when I pulled back the curtain. You know, I was like, I'm coming out. I saw that thing. It's like, whoa.
And what does it have? Like a weapon? Does it have a weapon, or does it say get down?
I don't know. The SWAT team was out in my front yard with telling me what to do, telling me how I should act by that time, and I was like, okay, you know. And,
so they take you in, and
they took me in, and which they were very. Very cool to me, which I was surprised. You know, I wasn't like resisting or anything. I just didn't open up my door, and I was surprised how nice they were to me, you know, which was cool. And some of them said they liked the music we did, and I was like, what? It wasn't made for you guys, though. It was made for the other side.
Yeah, the other side.
So it was one of those things that was kind of funny, you know. But I was interested to know that some of them liked some of the stuff, and I was like, wow, that's cool.
So you're all good now?
No, not yet. But I've been doing. I kind of figured they wanted me to. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
they got to get some money.
Something. Yeah, they want something. You know. So I had to go and I did some rehabilitation. For a few weeks. And
where'd you go? You went to a rehab?
Yeah, I went to a counselor's house and stayed with him and did some random drug testing and stuff like that for a few weeks. And still see him every now and again, but I don't live there. And he's a good guy. But I figured they're gonna make me do something anyway, and if that could be towards something that they're gonna make me do, I don't know what they're gonna do. I can't say. I can't say. So I imagine they're gonna want me to do something, and I hope it isn't you know, I don't know.
Jail time.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope not either. I mean, you know, because if you got people like Lindsay,
it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. You know, I mean, I think it was a big misunderstanding, and I should open the door. You know, I didn't.
Yeah, I hear you.
I was feeling big or something. You know, in between tours. You know.
Yeah.
I was leaving the next day, and.
Oh, did you get to go?
I made it, yeah.
Oh,
I made it.
God.
I had a friend get me out, and I made it.
Oh, on the Kyuss thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I had a show.
Scott Reeder
in Belgium.
Right?
I had a show in Belgium that next day. I made it. I made the show.
Wow.
Because of the trouble, they didn't want to. They had Scott do Canada.
Right. Yeah,
which I can get in, but it's some paperwork, and they were like, "Well, we're just gonna have Scott do it." And I was like, "Really? Yeah. Okay, that's cool, you know." And Scott was down to do it, so he did it, and then he played the Wiltern show with me. I asked him to do that, and
did you do the Wiltern show?
Yeah, yeah. I asked Scott to come up and do some songs, and so he did.
Now everybody thought Josh was going to do that, right?
That would have been amazing.
I know.
That would have been truly amazing, yeah.
Now he just doesn't want to have anything to do with it.
Well, you know, he wasn't asked, you know.
Right.
John just thought he would say no, and I always kind of felt like, well, Bruno's a great player, but you know, to go out and celebrate the songs. It works, you know, to do it with. I wasn't even, you know, like Scott's on the 2 better records, I think, than the 2 I'm on, and the majority of the set are those 2 songs, two records. I mean, so it took me. I mean, I tried to play that stuff with as much respect as I could, and learning the stuff, trying to get around the left-handed thing, upside down strings, took me a second. Like, okay, it's not like that. It's just normal, you know. I just have to learn the stuff and play.
It's like dyslexia bass.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, you know, to learn listening to it, and so I thought I did pretty good. I felt comfortable doing it towards the end there and stuff. You know,
so you're out of Kyuss now, right?
Yeah, I chose to walk because we were supposed to be writing for a new record and stuff, and with all respect to those guys and Bruno, I kind of feel like going out and playing the old songs. We can go be a tribute band and play tribute to songs we love too, and people are stoked to see them. But we already did that.
Yeah,
we've toured the world. We went everywhere. You know, we had a good time, and now they're going back to Europe, and it's like, well, without any new songs, I don't see. I think we're just. I'd feel like I was ripping somebody off at that point.
Yeah.
You know, I'm ripping off fans, and it's like I love our fans, and we're lucky enough to say we have fans, and so it's a lucky blessing, you know, to have, and I don't want to step on anybody and to make a buck, you know. It's like I'd rather figure it out, you know. Figure it out.
So you got a new EP coming out?
I do. I have a new album, 12 songs. 12 songs? I just put 5 on there, cool. And
I'm gonna put them. The listeners will be able to hear them. We'll put them on the show.
Dig it, man.
You want to play a song for us?
Sure.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
man.
Let's do it.
Right on.
Should I play something off the new stuff, or should I play?
Whatever you want to play, brother.
Should I play a Kyuss song?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Pick right there.
All right, cool.
That would be amazing.
I'll do a Kyuss song.
Whatever.
I'll try to do a Kyuss song. It's tuned to E, so I'm gonna try, man.
Okay.
He's singing it hard. But I might need to move this back a little bit because I sing pretty loud. Because if I knew how to sing properly, I would.
Yeah. How's this?
That's perfect. Let's see.
Like got a wall inside my head. It's got to set itself free. Like got a wheel inside my head. The wheel of understanding. I'm loading my war machine. I'm contributing to the system breakdown scheme. I'm shutting down your greed for free. I'm here to gun it down. I see pretty flowers at my feet. Cool breeze, clean air, hospitality. Pretty place, pretty place, pretty place. Get the hell away from me. I'm loading my war machine. I'm contributing to the system's breakout scheme. I'm shutting down your greed for greed. I am here to gun it down. I got a wall inside my head. It's got to set itself free. I got a wheel inside my head. The wheel of understanding. Wow! I'm loading my war machine. I'm contributing to the system, so break out scheme. for coming down,
Cheers,
brother.
man.
That
Thank
was
you,
so
brother.
great.
Cheers,
I'm
brother.
so happy to
Thank
have
you,
you
man.
down. We're
Awesome,
big
brother.
fan, man.
Cool.
All right, thanks everybody tuning in. Let's hear it one more time. Nick Oliveri, come on, yeah.